like it's on because we had like a like kind of a discussion on shot calling during the game.
Hmm.
I want to know like from like kind of your experience, like what works and what doesn't, and like is it kind of rule locked? Like is it only for like should you only run this like shot like the shot caller, or should be like the anchor something,
Hmm.
or is it like uh everybody in the team like can do it if they know how to do it?
Yeah. Generally, the idea why most people would say like leave it up to the backline is because the backline has more information about the game state, or at least should have more information. If they are trolling on awareness, then they don't. But
Oh my
they
god.
they are further back, so they have like a better view of things, just a better overview because they're further behind. They know when they have cooler because backline should be the cooler player. Um, and they don't have to worry about like fight taking as much, which means they can focus more on like the overall game state and noticing like when enemies want to push and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that other people can't do it and like other people shouldn't do it. In my opinion, anyone can short call. And like, sure, backlines will like have a better basis of doing so. But at the same time, if your awareness is decent enough that you like are able to see things going on, like how many specials you have, how many specials the enemy has, that is worth calling out. Because even your backline, even if you have like a dedicated shot caller in quotes, even they can't watch everything at like all the time. And doing a call out about stuff like that will like always ensure that everyone on the team is on the same page. Um, so basically, in my opinion, everyone should do it. You can like if you notice that like you or like another player on the team is like very good at shot calling, you can just leave it up to them. And I don't care if it's the backline or not. If they're good at shot calling, let them do it. But also like to a large degree, I think everyone should. Everyone should worry about the game state and about what to do as a team. And if you have ideas, then shout them into your mic. Because doing ideas fast, even if it's not the best idea you could do in the situation, doing it fast will be so much more scary than just not doing anything or like waiting for like ages to find the correct play. And then it's like the game state has changed already.
Okay. Because I'm kind of taking shot calling ideas from other games.
Hmm.
And like I don't know if it's a good thing, but like an example I have is like there's like the shot caller just call like kind of every action, like move up, move back, get this area, kill
Hmm.
this guy,
Hmm.
and like the team follows and give infos to the shot caller, or like should it be like less, less like present,
Hmm.
like just call
Less
out
rigid. Hmm.
less. I don't know like what is better, call out a lot, like being like the only mainly the only guy who call out like strats and just other people feeding him infos, or like something a little more like where everybody does like
Hmm.
this call.
I I don't think I can give a general answer to that.
Okay.
I think it's like I'd encourage you as a team to experiment with that. What works better, and like where you notice problems with each kind of style. Because like if the person who does shot calls is really good at shot calling, then that like first style of doing like relatively rigidly saying like that person just like commanding everyone to move like in fucking chess or something can definitely work. Just like controlling the game on a macro sense. You can't control it on a micro sense. This game is way too fast for that. But like controlling things on a macro sense, like take this fight right now, um, push them, take zone. Calls like that can totally work, and that kind of idea of like one person gives the calls, everyone else responds, that can be very efficient if like if the shot caller is good enough at like realizing game states, and if everyone is good enough at like communicating in regards to that. We do kind of run into the risk of like limiting ourselves to the amount of information we can give each other, and like them like kind of ideas some frontlines just like kind of get in the moment. So I would encourage you to try out both, because I think like both can realistically work, and that's just kind of, you have to figure out how your team dynamic works there.
I mean, we have been like we have done shotcalling experiments, and I feel like what worked the best most of the time, at least from what I felt, was mostly Omni, Omni, and sometimes me doing shotcalling. Yeah, best case scenario, we'll do it like together. That's I feel like what at least what I felt was working the best.
Okay.
I don't know how the rest feels about that.
I mean, Knight was trying to shot call more this scrim.
I mean, I think
yeah.
there's something we should do, like like the next scrims we're gonna play. I think we should like everybody who wants to try and short call, we do
I
like
didn't know
one each scrim, you know, like Seth, you like if you're on a shot call, you like next scrim for example, you'll be like the designated shot caller, and you do like you do it your way, you know, as you want. After like the next scrim, after like the next one, it's gonna be me, and after that, Caro, you know, like just trying to see what works and what doesn't without him.
Yes.
I do want to say though, I've been like this is like honestly this is I feel like the hardest part in Splatoon. Stuff is not explained, because every time I learn like a big revelation, I think back and I'm like, wait, hold up. I've seen this like 1,000 times, but I never picked up on it. For example, the moment today was that, wanting to improve on Bucket, I watched a lot of Bucket gameplay, and also back then I watched a lot of Bursty and Shadowwind content on Zap. And I was always confused because I've only experienced low-level teams being in a team in Sendu sets or like scrims as a sub. It's always a lot of callouts, but in higher level or top level gameplay, there's not a lot of like that chaos going on. And we kind of, I kind of tried going into that, because especially I feel like on Bucket, I didn't, for example, I watched a lot of Kyo, and Kyo doesn't actually talk that much, or like call out that much. So today, starting on like the second game, I tried to only call out the most important stuff. When I want to fight something, or like I'm going to fight someone, I am actively fighting someone, or like a special, or like the important things. But I'm not just yelling out weird stuff that is not that important for like example, oh, I'm getting whaled or something, because that just adds so much clutter. And I feel like although there has still been clutter this scrim, I feel like having an entire player removed from the VC comes from just like yelling stuff into the mic was good. And I saw it also in my performance that I could concentrate a bit more on just playing the game. So I like that.
Interesting.
So I feel like
Yeah.
while calls are very important, I feel like it's also very important to not call out, I guess, because there's some information that is too fast. Like you can't really translate that to adapt, because it's Splatoon. As you've said, you can't control micro. It's too much. So if I think about it, like, if you think about it after, if you say, I'm getting whaled, that basically means, hey, I can't really partake in this fight right now. But things like that are going to happen so much. Oh, I got hit by a burst bomb. Oh, I got into an ink mine. Oh, I got censored. These situations are going to happen so often that if you call it out every single time, you can't really change the game plan with like single things like that. Exactly, clear callouts, definitely important.
Yes. Nice. That goes into a general concept. I just want to touch upon that really quickly because of the examples you gave of like those kind of specific things of like being whaled. We want to like avoid trying to call stuff like that. And instead, what we want to do is really focus on doing that clear, like doing very clear callouts, because this game is very fast. Callouts will happen very fast, and they will have to be registered very fast. And the time, like the processing power it takes in your brain between like I am whaled and sorry Omni, I can't help you in that fight, is like incredible. And sometimes you don't even come to that conclusion because you have other things on your mind. Like, sure, it's somehow connected, but you don't really, as like the other player on the receiving end, you can't really do anything with that information. What's worth a lot more is like doing very clear callouts in terms of like what your teammates want to know. So instead of saying I'm whaled, I'd much prefer to hear a callout like can't help you right now, like wait a second before you fight or something like that. Or just even like if someone calls I'm gonna fight, just saying can't is like really fucking helpful for them to know like I have to play this a bit more safe. I can't expect my teammate to show up right now. And like that's what I think with like doing callouts very clearly in terms of like saying the exact things that you want your teammates to know and not saying things that like kind of imply on that. A few shotcall exercises that I want to give in like that help with any of those issues is like with anything saying like very clearly I want to focus on improving our communication in this scrim is like always very helpful. So that's kind of the first step. And then like saying Omni, you're gonna be the dedicated shot caller this scrim, that works as well if you don't lose track of it during the scrim. Some specific things that I like you can try out and see if that helps you is like everyone except one person mutes. Like mute everyone except the kind of shot caller. And then like that shot caller will have to do basically everything, right? And there's two things that does. The first thing is that like the shot caller will shot call a lot more. Will shot call like, to be honest, more than they should in a real game. But that's fine because like it's for improvement, right? And that teaches you when you should, like what calls are useful and what calls like don't do much. The second thing is that because the others can't speak back, that means that like you also realize from your perspective what callouts are useless and what callouts like you really would have needed in situations like this. Because you will notice what callouts you would have really needed because you will lose the game because of them. But you will also notice like smaller callouts that wouldn't really have done much that you like thought you should do in that situation. You'll notice like they didn't really matter.